traders, Toby here from Pro Edge Trading. All right, we're going to talk about a little ad we put on the EdgeRunner. You know how the EdgeRunner Auto, the torque trades, our torque flip, torque trend, we use ATR multiples for our targets most of the time. And for the EdgeRunner Auto, we're using the edge band for our stop. For the trend and flip, you just pick a multiple for the stop, an ATR multiple for the stop. But we have been running into some issues with deciding between micros and minis. And it's kind of hard to do this math in your head. You know, we do have the ATR setting displayed down here. But it's kind of hard to do the math in your head when you're trading 6 different instruments and different tick values and trade them, you know, deciding what to do on the fly, that kind of thing. So we added a section in the EdgeRunner to display this. So you input the ATR multiple and the target you're going for, because most of our strategies we're using contract sizing, and you just put in your target dollar amount and it picks how many contracts to take for you. Well, when you're trading a big target, you know, 500, 2, 3, 4, 500 mostly, you probably just want to stick with minis. Except maybe gold, the Q might get a little crazy, but it's when you're doing small targets. So see, we got a $500 target, and you pretty much already know I need to stick with minis for that. But here's the calculations for you. But I'll show you where this is, and then we'll see what happens when you do a smaller target. So here's your EdgeRunner indicator. Scroll all the way down, and you're going to see the contract sizer settings. And this shows it or not. And then you have all the display settings for it. You can make this any color, any size, anywhere on the chart. I just have it big in the middle so you can see it for the video. And you can pick first, here's your ATR multiple, and that's going to be picking up the ATR period from your profit settings. So here's where you put the ATR value, the period. I put it on 2 because that's what I use for the trend and flip. But you can put it on, you know, 2. We use 15 on the EdgeRunner Auto. If you want, we'll just leave it on 15. It's going to be close either way for what we're trying to do. So distance mode, it's ATR ticks. Ticks is easier to figure. You know, the options in there, but this is mostly for ATR setups. And then your dollar amount. And you see when we're a pretty big target, it really doesn't matter. You can just put it on minis. But we've been going for 50 a lot, or 100. That's where it gets, you can run into a big discrepancy. So put it on 50 and see what happens. So you see here, you're going for 50, but the least amount of minis you can take is 1, obviously. So that's way, you know, it's way over 50. But it'll tell you exactly how many for micros. And you don't need to know how many. The strategies do that for you. You just need to know, hey, I need to be on micros today. And you can pretty much, you know, generally speaking, unless there's news or something crazy, at 8:30, you can plug in your values and pretty much go by that for the day. You know, there may be some days where it changes a lot, but generally speaking, just whatever's happening at open, you can probably stay with that. Let's put the NQ up here just to see. So here's the NQ. You can see it's the Q, so it's going to be crazy different. So you would definitely want to be on the micros if you're going for $50. There's your definitely want to be on the micros. Let's look at RTY. I was on the RTY here recently when I should have been on the M2K. and this is why. Because yeah, you'll make more if you win, but you'll also lose more if you lose. So you want to stick with the plan that you have. Definitely be on the micros there. Let's just look at the MES. You can put this on the micros or minis. It's going to give you the same calculations. So we happen to be on the micros. We're going for $50. We want to stay on the micros. Just look at one more. I think GC will probably be quite a bit, have a big discrepancy. Yeah, GC trying to go for $50 with the current ATR. You know, ATRs can be different days, but for the current ATR, the least you want to do is one. You're still going to be way over. But that's just something we added. It's not in your downloads yet, but it's going to be soon. Probably get it in there tonight. We're just doing some final little polishing up graphics type stuff, but it'll be in there tonight. But yeah, that's just a request we've had because it is hard to do this, figure out this stuff on the fly. If you're going for $50, you know, it's a small target, you should be on the micros anyway. If it's when you get up to 200, 300, 400 target is where it can get iffy. And you know, this might say, let's see if we can find one. See if we can find a tweener. Let's change this to say 200 because that's also something common goal we have. And we'll switch this to say the ES. Let's see what we got. So see, there's one. It's close. It's fairly close. You're gonna pay a lot more commissions here. So you know, just kind of up to you. You're going if it says 8 or 9 commission wise, that'd be close. You might be better off just to use a mini. But if you get much higher than that, it starts to not be as big of a deal. Say we go 300. Yeah, it didn't change as much as I thought. But yeah, I want to stick with the micros or the minis because you don't want to pay, they're so close, you don't want to pay all those extra commissions. The YM, same thing. It's probably worth just doing minis. You don't want to pay all those commissions. RTY, yeah, same thing. Yeah, so there's kind of a sweet spot there. 200, 300 could go either way. Seems like anything less than 200, you want to pay closer attention to. Always want to watch gold. It's just high tick value and probably Q. Let's put it on the Q, see what we got. Yeah, in the Q. But that's at 300. But if you get around 50 to 200, depending on the day where the ATR is at, you know, this will give you something to check just to confirm which, you know, I want to be on the minis or micros. But yeah, just something we added. Like I said, it'll be in your downloads tonight. It'll be EdgeRunner 2.7. We'll have this 2.7. And but yeah, we're always looking for things to improve and help each other, help our trades, keep us out of trouble. You know, I did have some trades last couple of days where I forgot to switch from RTY to M2K, and it took a huge trade that I shouldn't have been in, or I shouldn't have been in the minis. I should have been the micros. But yeah, we appreciate you guys, and like I said, you know, if you think of anything else you'd like to have in there, let us know. This is a question we've had, so we got it in there. And we appreciate it, and we will see you on the charts tomorrow.